Flosstube. Welcome back. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you since last year. Welcome back. I am Teresa. I'm the Garden Goose Stitcher. Is this Flosstube 8? I think it is. I'll let you know. I had to renew it. I don't know. I think it's Flosstube number 8. I wasn't here last week. Thank you for all the wonderful comments about our anniversary. We went away. We have had a whirlwind over here. We had a Christmas blizzard. We didn't get very much snow, but the wind was pretty bad. Drifts were pretty bad. It was ice underneath. That was the kicker, the ice. So my husband ended up not having to work. Like it seemed like ever. They sent the planes away. So when he normally would have gone in on a Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, he didn't have to go in. So he had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then he went to work on Wednesday. It was a long time. We ended up canceling our Christmas Eve plans. We were supposed to have pizza and appetizers and games and movies with family, and it was too icy. Dave had gone to my sister's to help with their generator because they were out of power, and even with their fireplace, I think I heard the living room was like 47 degrees. They could see their breath. And so Dave went over there early on Christmas Eve day, and he called me, and it had been 20 minutes to get to the main road, and I was like, yeah, we're not inviting people over to die, like unnecessarily for game night. So we canceled Christmas Eve. We just had a wonderful time, just the three of us, which is something we're used to. So we watched movies. We watched movies. I did a puzzle. It was wonderful. Then Christmas Day, we went to my mom's. The roads were much better. The wind had finally stopped, so they could really clear stuff out. It was really cold, and it doesn't get that cold here because there's so much water. And so the salt didn't work. So it was still pretty bad, but they had made progress. So we went to my mom's for Christmas Day brunch, exchanged gifts, drove another hour almost down south to Dave's sisters. One of Dave's sisters had watched a game of some sort, like a ball game, like football, and we exchanged gifts. And then the roads were pretty bad by the time we left. It took us like almost 2 hours to get home instead of like 45 minutes or whatever it normally takes us. So, and then Dave and I went to Frankenmuth, Michigan on Monday. I talked last time about how my husband did not even have any idea where we were going, and he didn't even care. Like, he just didn't care. And then I had told my mom, because my mom was coming to stay with Nathan while we were there. And she had told my brother. And so we sit down on Christmas morning, and my brother's like, yeah, I really think you guys should go to Tiffany's. I really recommend that restaurant. It's nice. And Dave's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then he starts going on about all these other Frankenmuth places. And he's like, oh, you didn't know where you were going? And then like later on throughout the conversation, it dawned on my brother that Dave had no idea where we were going. Like, he didn't know what restaurant we were going. He didn't know what hotel or city or state we were going. It was so funny. So we ended up going to Frankenmuth. We stayed at the Marv Horgatz. He was a polka band person, and the hotel's owned by Drury Inn now. And it was very nice. Not very kiddie like the Bavarian Inn or Zenders with the big water parks would have been. So, and they give you 2 adult beverages per person. So it was really, really nice. Just 2 nights away, we walked around. We went shopping. My husband needed pants. Listen, we went in on Monday. Tuesday was our anniversary. We went to an outlet mall that was not far away because we had realized on Christmas Day that my husband's he had 2 pairs of jeans, and one had a split in the booty, and he wore it to Christmas. And it wasn't until he like went out we were at my mom's, he went out to get something from the car, and I was like, Dave, are your pants split on the back? So we had to go. We went to an outlet mall, and I made him get like 5 pairs of pants. Not all of them are jeans, but We almost got divorced right then and there. He is just so weird about things he doesn't even know he's not picky about. It's so weird. Just pick something. And I was like, listen, you buy this wash every dang time. Every dang time you wear it. Why this time do you think that you hate this wash? I don't. So, anywho, it was fine. But, so we went our way for our anniversary. That's why we wasn't here last week. And then, last week was weird. I think everybody felt like it was weird. You didn't know what day it was. Didn't know what year it was. Just walking around. You don't know what meal you had last. I hadn't gone grocery shopping the whole week last week. So anyway, New Year's was calm here. Dave had to work. So, and Nate and I did the 12 by 12. That's why it was calm. Dave had to work. I did the 12 by 12. But praise the Lord. Monday, yesterday, we started up school, full blast. Nate is very much healed, so he's sleeping in his bedroom now. And so we've done 2 very promising full days of school. I have hope that we won't be doing school through June. So praise the Lord, because we needed some structure. My New Year's resolution is to get my poop in a group, create a routine like I used to have. All the years I've ever been married, I had a really good routine. So I was never overwhelmed with household tasks or anything. And here I just haven't been, which is, it's a good practice for somebody like me who is like anxious like that. But also I just find myself on edge about when was the last time I dusted something in this house. So I deleted my social media apps for a bit. I just need to like reset my time management skills, which I think I mentioned it every time. I struggle with time management. So I deleted my Instagram. I'll probably check in like on the internet through a device that's not my phone, because I can't have it on my phone, you guys. Can't be trusted. So anyway, back to reality. Praise be. Here I am in my Flosstube. Probably number 8. I'll let you know. I hope you had a wonderful New Year. I saw a lot of y'all watching the 12 by 12. It was a rip-roaring fun time. I can't wait to tell you what I did. I did not cook. We ended up having bacon wrapped little smokies and sausage balls, and nobody else asked me for anything other than that. So I got off the hook. I got to stitch all 12 hours. It was great. But today, when we're talking about my stitching, I'm going to tell you first about my finishes. Because I feel like I don't know, usually I do my finishes after my whips, but these were from like last year, you guys. So I feel like I should bring it up now. So, not on Wednesday. I think the Wordplay Wednesday, after I last filmed, I totally forgot it was Wednesday. And then I felt really bad because I do want to get my Wordplay stitched. I can't have January up all year round, you guys. So I worked on my Wordplay Wednesday several days of the week before Christmas. So it was probably like Thursday, Friday. And I finished it. I might have even worked on it after Christmas. I'd have to go back and check messages. But so my December Wordplay is finished. This is a Brendan Gervais. And I'm happy with it. It doesn't read ketchup and mustard to me anymore. Praise the Lord. And I brightened it up a bunch, changed all the colors. Oh, do you see what I see? Son of a nutcracker. I forgot to put the collar on those reindeer. Dang nabbit. To be continued. I still need to... It's a whip now. Dang it. Don't you hate that? Well, anyway. I worked on this on Christmas Day. We went to my mom's, went to my sister-in-law's. I came home. We had a couple hours. I feel like we watched more movies. And I stitched this freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin. I did not end up stitching any more ornaments, and I didn't end up working on my barn anymore. So this is on this cloth. Do you stitch like this? My bad. Just do the other corner, and then I do the other corner. So I stitched that, and I was so happy to come home after all of that and just have a couple hours of stitchy time just to relax. You can find it on her blog. It's Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting.blogspot.com, I believe. My next whip, it's from last year's wipgo. Have you been dying to find out if I finished my wipgo goals? I'm only doing like the main Serenity Prayer, and so that ends right here. So like from here up, and not the border. So I did my 10 hours. I did it on 10 days. I ended up not shortchanging it, but I didn't get a lot done, to be honest. I feel like that doesn't look like a lot of 10 hours to me, or 10 days worth. This SER, that stitching, that font is bizarre, and I ended up getting much more enjoyment out of the other fonts. So I have those. I need to do the motifs in between, and I don't remember if this is on my wipgo for this year, but I'm gonna need a couple more years, I bet. But look at me, I got a coverall, which means we're getting goats. I've been sending my husband all these goat barn ideas, and he acts like he doesn't get them. I'm like, did you see that? He doesn't reply. The next one, my next whip, I'm going to show you my schooler during school, because we're back to school. And also, I think I forgot to share my progress the last time, or the time before, I'm not sure. You know how we abruptly ended school with Nathan's injury to his collarbone, so. But I picked it up yesterday and today, and I like it. Filling in the house. I ran out of that blue, or that brown that's around the windows, so I need to, now that it's upstairs, because I brought it up to do Flosstube. Did I tell you I live in a quad level? Split level? Four levels, you guys. It's a lot of steps. So a lot of times, like, I've been forgetting to get this. I think it's 898. And so now that it's upstairs, I'll grab a skein if I have it, and then I'll take it down with me to work on. I like this during school. We're reading Uncle Tom's Cabin. We do this really cool curriculum this year it's U.S. history for 9th grade. We do this really cool curriculum that combines your U.S. history, or your history, because next year will be not U.S. history, but just regular history. World history, my bad. But it like combines the writing composition with topics from the history lesson that week, or the lessons that week, and it also coordinates literature with it. So you have your literature, your writing composition, like everything's in one. So it's like technically you can add a Bible aspect to it, and you'll be getting your history credit, your English credit, and Bible elective half credit or whatever. So we're just doing the English and the actual history. And luckily my son loves U.S. history. So we're listening to Uncle Tom's Cabin. That is a long way to tell you. We're reading Uncle Tom's Cabin. I've never read it, which I feel like, yikes. So I'm reading it along with him. I have the Audible. I play it. I stitch. He reads along while it reads. There's nothing wrong with read alouds in high school, friends. Everybody loves to read aloud. I still love to read aloud. Guess what happened on New Year's Day? This is a new whip. Buckle up. I did it. I started it. I started my Fruits of Plenty, my Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm using a Grace Notes fabric. I believe it's called Twyla. And I got a tiny little start. I ended up using 930 and 931. Some of my favorite blues ever. And this is what I got, you guys. But it's only the 3rd, and I didn't work on it today because I worked on other stuff. So So I, this fabric is a gray snows. I'm pretty sure I bought this at StitchCon. Otherwise I wouldn't, I don't know where I would have come into contact with a yard of gray snows fabric. But I love it. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to have something. There's no race. I'm not planning on getting it done in a year. It's not my stitching must do. It's just something I'm going to work on regularly. At least get a strand in. What happens if I get a strand in per day? You know, that's enough. So this is a weird whip because it's a whip and a finish. I've been working on, I started this last year, this silo barn from the Quilty Barn Mix and Match by Lori Holt. So somebody on somewhere did this barn, and then they stitch individual stitch cards, and then they just put it in there. They used washers and magnets to just replace it. So I decided to do that, and that's what I stitched on last 12 by 12, and I failed miserably. Well, I got 6 started, none finished. I don't remember when I started the barn last year. I'm pretty sure it was before New Year's. It wasn't after New Year's. But I didn't get much done. And so the couple days before New Year's, I started stitching on the barn again. I got the E-Crew stitched all the way in the silo, and then I just have a bunch of fill-in really, and then the roof. So I worked on that a couple days before New Year's 12 by 12, and I had a rip-roaring fun time watching everybody's 12 by 12 plan Flosstube special editions. I don't know about you, but I was watching a lot of them. So I had posted on Instagram what my plan was, but so when noon came around, I restarted what I had started on New Year's Eve 2021. Last New Year's Eve, you guys. So at noon, I finished my little snowman. So he'll be an individual little tiny thing, and it will fit in there. And then the person I'm copying shamelessly, if it was you, genius. You're a genius. Thank you so much for sharing your talent on the internet. I have a screenshot on my phone, and I plan to make mine exactly like yours if it was yours. It was a Chantel 141 design barn, the one with the silo. I think it was like an aqua, and then she had the silo barn, and then she just replaced those. That's exactly what I'm doing. I have no idea who it was, otherwise I'd give you credit. Probably you don't watch this. This is my February. So it's a little churn dash from the one of Lori Holt's patterns. This was a whirligig I did for March in greens. And then I ended up getting my chick done for April, my flower basket for May, my watering can for June, and I actually just finished this up today in the waiting room at PT. So I just had to do the flower. So I got quite a bit of stitching in each hour because I had finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had everything with the flower, and then I had worked on a bunch. So today I ended up working on more of the July flag, August scarecrow. I did pretty well for just a little start there. The schoolhouse for September, and then I was nervous about my fabric. So then I switched to using the corners of this. I am who I am, okay? So there's my little jack-o'-lantern for October, my turkey for November. Notice I made his head blue. And then I started my Santa, and my eyes were tired. Somebody messaged me, I think it was Missy, she was like, I'm dragging. And I was like, I also, which doesn't make sense because I usually do stay up late stitching, but I don't stitch for 12 hours straight. It was a rip-roaring fun good time. I loved it. I had so much fun. I made sure I got into watch the lives, and it was fun. Kia B and Pam from Just Keep Stitching, they did a great job. I love it. I hope they do it every year. Even if I can't participate. I just like the anticipation, everybody's floss tubes and posts and stuff. I was like, oh, this is going to be a rip-roaring stitchy time. So great. So those are my whips. So that was half whips and half finishes. I don't know. Does it even count as a finish if I don't have that barn done? I don't know. So my plans coming up in anticipation, my new wipgo. I have my new wipgo, and I ended up using 11 discs. And I'm just going to do my happy planner. Instead of a happy planner, I'm going to use this because I could not find a happy planner that I liked this year. I don't know if it's just my stores locally, if I need to go to a bigger one like Flint or like down in Rochester or something, to find a better selection. But all of the ones up in my stores, in my Joann's and my Michael's, were really lame. Like, I'm not looking at that for a year. So I decided to just use the sheets I printed out, switch to the big discs. I ordered a cover. You can order them on Amazon. I know a lot of people have those tulle cover, T-U-L, tulle covers. I don't know. And then I also bought the Naptime Stitchers weekly spreadsheet. So there you go. Now I don't need a happy planner because if I can just reprint that every year, here we go. So I bought some covers. Do you do Transformer planners? Those of you that do happy planners, do you do Transformer planners? I always have because I'm a budgeter. I'm going to talk about that for a second. I'm a budgeter, and I usually have my regular planner, my monthly budget, and then my homeschool planner all in one in a Transformer planner. There's lots of cool YouTube videos if you've never heard that term, but it's really cool. So, but the covers are like $20. I was like, aren't these like glorified laminated paper? So, and I ran out of paper, like good paper. So I ordered some from Amazon because I don't know when I'm leaving my house on a regular basis. When are you? I don't know. So I got my wipgo planned out. Oh, I don't really know what this matters. So, Jessie does stuff. Jessie Marie does stuff. She called wipgo, I think on the 25th. I think she called on Christmas Day. Just a little present, a day early. And it was number 6 and number 10. My number 6 is the rooster and the hens. I don't know where my pattern is, you guys, but I found the cross stitch, so that's the half of it. Also, Susan Kennedy, you messaged me and you said, when are we starting ours out? Well, it got called for wipgo, so right now. I hope you don't have plans. I'm just going to stitch it. I just need to do the house. And I think there's a lady feeding those chickens. This is on a 28 count or 25 count. I think it's called Lagoon, and it's Lugana. And takes me a minute. Takes me a little bit of extra time. My goal on that is to finish it because I should finish it. And I was very specific on some of my goals this year, and I was really glad. My other wipgo, number 10, was my May cottage from Twin Peaks Primitives I'll Be Home series. The May cottage. I have July, August, September, October, and so that's really random. All of my other series in my entire house, I'm missing June, July, August, or May, June, July. But this one, I have the summer months. It's very strange. So this is what I have. I haven't started working on it yet. My goal for this is 5 days or a finish. It could happen. I always pull these out, and with fresh new eyes and like the landmarks that I have, I usually work pretty fast on it. So we'll see what happens. 5 days or a finish. Also, tomorrow will be my Wordplay Wednesday, year number 2. January's done. I brought it with I have some previous finishes to show you in a minute. So I'm going to be picking up February. And it's on one of those 14 count Adas that I bought. There's like threads just randomly. My bad. This is all I got done last year. It's a pretty color though, isn't it? It's like a blush. It was in that thrift store haul that I got a while ago. So that'll be commenced tomorrow. Wordplay Wednesday. I have a little bit of haul. It's not that fun. I shouldn't have clapped. I got my Floss Frenzy. It was blue spruce. Do you know, they're all greens, but aren't they pretty? Yeah, really pretty. I do love this collection that I'm gathering from this club. Do you know that the Classic Colorworks, did you see, if you do it with Fat Corner Shop, the Classic Colorworks Floss of the Month, Floss Fix, they're switching to alphabetical in January, I think. So they're just going to start with the flosses and the A's. And I was like, oh my God, what a time to be alive. Because I've only been in it for like 3 or 4 months. So whoop-dee, that's exciting. So I'm excited about that. Also, so if you're on the Stitch Your Stash 2023 Facebook group, I'd asked a question. And it was just an innocent question. I asked if some people were going to go on spending freezes while they were stitching their stash. I don't think it was like I don't know. It was just a question. And nobody said you had to go on a spending freeze. In the Stitch Your Stash, all of the information and planning and encouragement, nobody has ever said that you need to go on a spending freeze. I just wondered if I should do that. Without turning off my subscriptions, which would be my Grace Notes, my Week Dye Works, and my Classic Colorworks, I wonder if I'm not going to, and I'm going to. I'm going to commit to it right now. I'm going to commit to a 1 day a month purchasing day. Because I'll tell you why. Have you ever heard of Dave Ramsey? We did Dave Ramsey a long time ago. And if you ever want more information about Dave Ramsey, I will tell you. I'm an open book about our Dave Ramsey journey. It changed our entire lives. It was just, I must have just found the book at just the right time, which was right after we had to put a furnace and windows. We had to buy a furnace, a new HVAC, furnace, air conditioning, and windows for the upper story of our house at one time. And we basically drained all of our savings and put stuff on credit cards. And so I was very anxious and felt very out of control. It was years ago. And I must have found his book at the right time. And we literally just snowballed it in less than a year. We did all the baby steps. We were well, not all of them, but bam, bam, bam. So it completely changed our lives. I highly recommend it. It's brutal if you're in debt. It's a brutal change to switch to his mindset. It works. It sucks that that's the way it works. And I was an open book on social media. Talk about embarrassing. My husband did not complain once, but even myself was like, you really gonna say that on the internet? I did. I shared it. And you know how many people came out of the word work and said, can you tell me what you're talking about? What are you talking about? You're not going to be in debt anymore, or whatever. And so, anywho, we just need to pay off our house. I'm snowballing our house right now currently. I'm not making as much progress as I could be because there's so many retreats. There's so many patterns and fabrics. And if I snowball this house, my husband can retire forever. So, so I want to, and I just want to, because I want to do it fast, because I like snowballing stuff. It's my favorite. I hate saving. It's saving is so boring. Snowballing is my favorite. So anyway, so in Dave Ramsey, one of my favorite challenges to myself were no spend days. So the idea is, if you were going to buy something and you've even budgeted for it, let's say, but you limit how many days per week or month that you actually spend money. I'm not talking about groceries or gas, okay? I'm talking about stuff that you want or stuff that you need. You need, but it can wait, And the mindset of putting something off that I could buy right now instantly, but instead I'm going to buy it on the 15th of the month because my spend day is on the 15th of the month or something. Let me just say, my spend day is going to be on the 15th of the month. I'll just do it. then every purchase even if I'm just loading up my carts throughout the month, when I go to click purchase, I'm going to think about, do I still need that? Wait a minute, I put that in my cart last month on the 16th, and I don't even want that thing anymore, or whatever. And it's really a change in mindset, and it really changes your spending habits. So when I asked if anybody's going to go to no freeze, I was waiting to see if anybody from Dave Ramsey's methodology came out of the woodwork and said, well, I already do a certain number of freeze no spend days, so I'm going to do a 1 per month spend day. That's it. And that doesn't mean I have a price cap or anything. It's just I'm going to prioritize my spending to be 1 day. Hopefully I don't need any emergency floss. That would be a thing. Here's what I'll do. I'll do a 1 spend day per month on the 15th of the month. And then I'll keep $2 just for emergency DMC. I feel like that's the best compromise there is. Because if it's fabric, I probably either have something I could use or I have time to wait, But floss, like what if I run out? But they're like 70 cents or something. So I'll put $2 in my wallet for just emergency DMC. And then anything else I want to buy, I'm going to wait till the 15th of the month. I'm not going to shut off my subscriptions because I'm trying to build my fabric stash. From everybody doing the Stitch Your Stash organization and getting ready for this, I have discovered that I don't have that much fabric. No offense to you guys, but I have nothing compared to y'all. I don't have like FOMO or anything. I just need to build my stash because I do like just pulling out what I have and using it. So I love Gray Snow's fabric. Love it. They know what I need before I know what I need, So that's my haul and my new plan for haul. So it might probably be a boring haul system or haul segment in the Flosstube because I'm only buying stuff once per month. I'm telling you, there's no pattern that you need in less than, that can't wait a month or whatever. So it's a fun thing. If you have questions about Dave Ramsey, let me know. I love talking about it. Love talking about it. Anyway, so I have some previous finishes because I was just changing stuff out. And I still am working on these series. This is going up today, my January sampler of the month. This is Little House Needleworks or Country Kind of Needleworks? Country. Little House Needleworks. I did the club. It came with that 16 count fabric and everything. This is the only one that I used a batting on it. And when I was looking at it, I wish I would do batting on all of them because it really does. This is just something I bought somewhere at Hobby Lobby. I think it said home on it. Or Home Sweet Home. It sits in my living room. And I love it. So that's going up. I think I have like 6 of these done. Maybe 5. I don't know. My other one is my January cottage of the month. This hangs on the wall. I have a corner pellet stove in my living room. It's so cozy. And it's got cross stitch around it, which makes it even better. So this is my January. This, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first thing I ever finished in my whole life. Let me point out my flaws. I'm just kidding. But you can see them. But I learned a lot when I stitched this because you see I did back stitching around the snow and the snowman because I hate it when snow does not pop. I bet you this called for ecru. And I bet you I stitched it as it was. And then while I was stitching it, I probably lost my mind. Also, do you notice that window? You cannot take back your learning curve. Whenever I taught people how to quilt, you can't take back your practice. Here's a great example of where I've come from. So that was my January. Hangs down by my pellet stove. It's very cozy. This is my my only wordplay that's finished. This hangs in my hallway heading down to my kitchen. My January wordplay. I stitched it, I think this is like Picture This Plus or something. And please remember that I didn't write anything down. But I stitched it on a nice blue. Brightened a bunch of colors up. And I like it a lot. I think it's pretty. I used just like a plaid. And it sits on that perpetual calendar. I think I might have October done. But in total now I have January, October, November, December. 4 out of 12, you guys. But I have high hopes for this second year of Wordplay Wednesday. I think that as I go through again, I think it's gonna, there's a lot of them that are pretty well along. So I'm hopeful. And I just like stitching them now more. I don't know why that is. So I think that's all I have. I can't think of a single thing else to tell you about. So anyway, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. I bet you I saw you stitching or on those lives. I saw a lot of people on those lives. But then it wasn't like an appropriate place to be like, hi. Because, the comments just flick through. So I've loved everybody's Flosstube updates. Their whip parades. I have a lot more to watch. A lot more to watch. I've been watching Poldark. That's another thing I'm going to tackle this year. I need to finish a lot of series of shows. And I don't know where I am in them. So with Poldark, I don't remember where I was. So I restarted it. And it wasn't difficult. I like that show. I just recently caught up with The Crown, like a couple months ago. Poldark, I'm about to finish. I need to finish Downton Abbey. I need to finish Victoria. I need to finish, what's the one on HBO with Khaleesi and the dragons? Oh my god. I hate when you can't think of words on Flosstube. You're all yelling, aren't you? Are you yelling at the TV? Oh my god. You know what I'm talking about. We haven't finished it. We haven't finished The Walking Dead. Is it over now? I think we're like 2 seasons behind, maybe 3. We haven't finished anything. I need to finish them all. And a lot of those, like, I think I'm going to have to rewatch Downton Abbey because I don't remember where I left off. And I really like the first couple seasons. So, Call the Midwife. I haven't finished that. I just restarted that. I need to commit and finish it. You know what I do? I ration them, you guys. When I know a show's ending, I don't watch the last season so that I can go back to it someday when I'm desperate. But now it's just out of hand. And now I have to rewatch everything because I haven't finished. It's been so long. So I need to get a grip. It doesn't help that my husband works nights. So we're not often like in front of the TV together, or whatever. So we haven't finished Homeland. What is that show? The fact of the matter is I know what happens in the end because anybody who watched it, why can't I think? I literally, the only words that are coming to my mouth, to my mouth are Lord of the Rings, and that's not it. Holy crap. I know what happens at the end to Jon Snow. And I'm still gonna pretend like I don't know it, and I'm just gonna finish it as it goes. So, oh my god. Do you know I went to Bunko last night? Have you ever played Bunko? It's a rip roaring fun time. If you ever get invited to sub at somebody's Bunko and you're like, what is that? Just do it, okay? It's a great time. So I started a Bunko group when we moved home. So we went to Bunko last night. We spent the whole car ride home talking about how afraid we are to fall. My friend told us in a story that her friend slipped on dog piddle on the floor and had a spiral break in her femur. Oh my God. She should have just gone right now. Ugh. Anyway, so we just spent the entire car ride home, the girls that I carpool with, talking about how old we are, and we just are afraid of breaking stuff. I think it's just you gather other people's experiences. Like my friend Tammy, who broke both of her legs, but now that's the reason she's back into cross stitch. And otherwise I wouldn't have known her. So I'm so glad that Tammy broke her legs. Anyway, I told Tammy's story and my friends almost threw up in the car. Oh my God! I forgot to tell you. Next week I'm going to Camp Stitch Away. Or no, just Stitch Away. I go to Camp Stitch a lot in April. I'm going to Stitch Away next week in Ohio. Next Wednesday. Right? What day is this? It's next Wednesday, and I'm so excited. And I'll get to see Tammy, who wouldn't be back in cross stitch if she hadn't busted her legs. So anyway, I'm really excited. I have no idea what I'm going to take to stitch. No clue. I haven't even thought about it. What is the name of that show? Oh, I gotta go. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for all of your comments and subscribing and liking and interacting with me and fighting me on Instagram and messaging me there. I just have a great time chatting with you and getting to know you guys, if that's possible. And I just really appreciate all of you. Like, seriously. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I'm so sorry I couldn't think of the name of the show with the dragons in Khaleesi. I'm so sorry. I'm going to Google it as soon as I get off of here. Also, I'll see you next week. And have a wonderful stitchy week. And I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.